Time for another edition of Bet Rome with Bet Online and Big Head. Again, with Bet Online. The Head and I are doing this segment twice a week. The entire football season, we have moved days around a bit to start, but we will settle into our regular routine next week where we do our hits every Monday and every Thursday. So keep that in mind. Every Monday and every Thursday. We're doing it today because we're going to be on the road in Vegas tomorrow. Sorry, Head, you can't come with us. You can't put your feet up on a desk. You can't F-bomb people, and you can't demand a drink. But we're there because we're getting ready for the fight, which I know you'll be into. But let me bring him in right now so we can get right to it. Head, I know you are the ultimate creature of habit. You always want to wait as long as you possibly can before you physically get down. So thank you very much for changing up for me. What's good, Head? How you feeling?
Extremely rattled because I am habits are huge for me. One, I should be doing this on Thursday, but I'm not. And also KTK, like you just said, has not sent my itinerary for Vegas. So I don't know exactly when I'm going to leave here. I figure you need the closer to talk to the suits once again, Jim.
Bro, the reason he has not sent you the itinerary is you were not on the itinerary. Now, yeah, I mean, you're welcome to just show up, I guess. But I'm told that we don't have a lot of room. So anyway, that's not a mistake. Listen, we got a beautiful, beautiful Thursday night matchup, which is awesome because, usually our TNF matchups are, how do I put this? Ass, but not tomorrow. Two of the best in the NFC. Get after it. Washington at Green Bay. Let's not waste any time. I love the game. What is the Bet Online number, and what are you doing with it?
The Packers are favored by 3.5 points here. Great game, like you said. I'm interested to see if Green Bay's run D can stand up and play like it did against Detroit. Washington ran for 220 yards via the Giants last week. Washington was also 13-2 when they ran for more than 100 yards last season and 1-4 when they did not. I also still have questions on the back end for Green Bay's defense. If Washington could somehow keep the sissy challenge guy and that pass rush off Jaden with Terry and Debo, they might have something there, but I like Green Bay's offense, Jim. Jordan Love got lucky a few times in week one by not throwing interceptions, and a pick six got called back, but he looked good overall, so I'm happy about that. And the Commanders' defense is better than they were, but they're not as good as the 3.7 yards per play they held the russet potato-led offense last week. Washington hasn't won in Green Bay since 1986. It's not going to start now. Green Bay minus 3.5.
Ooh, dude, the way you started that conversation, you had me leaning Commanders. Look, we hate the hook. We hate the look.
Hate the hook.
Hate the hook, but love the pack. Jordan Love looked like Jordan Love once again. He clearly woke up feeling dangerous on Sunday. I don't think there's any reason to think that he won't feel the same way on a short week. At home once again. Speaking of dangerous, my dude, Micah Parsons, made Detroit look like they were competing in the so-called Sissy Challenge and not week one of the NFL season. He gave them hell, Head, in only 29 snaps last weekend.
Yes,
and while
he did.
I know that Jared Goff is not the most elusive dude and Jaden Daniels is, I expect Micah to have a similar effect on this one and wreck and blow crap up. Packers minus 3.5.
Nice.
Let's get
Love
that
that.
one, Head. All right.
Beautiful.
The Bengals are at home against the Jags. Can't say that I was overly impressed with Cincinnati. In fact, I wasn't impressed at all with Cincinnati in just getting by the Browns. They do what they had to do, but Myles Garrett does have a way of complicating matters, doesn't he? Anyway, what is the Bet Online number here, and then what are you doing with it?
Dude, first off, I was laughing my ass off last week during the Jaguars and Panthers game, thinking about how Baker Mayfield spent the last 2 years with those two head coaches, dude. One, he went from a dude just thinking about getting his sex on all the time and Coach Bang to Weird Liam, who's saying weird stuff all the freaking time. So,
Why? Okay, I was gonna say,
absolute
why
comedy,
is Weird Liam, other than Duval?
that's about as weird as it gets, man.
That's weird.
Yeah.
All right.
Baker needs like a documentary because there's a lot of great things that's happened in his career. That would be its own chapter.
Believe me, if you were to open up and talk about that and let it rip, he absolutely should have a doc. Or we
Which
can
he
make one without
probably
him.
will when his career's, knowing Baker, he probably would anyways.
Yeah.
So, anyways, run D here. That'll be the key. Since he showed up last week for the first time in 2 years, is it real? Well, we'll find out because the Jaguars ran for 200 yards last week. I think But again, it was against the Panthers, so I'm not really sure. On the other side, Jacksonville's defense looked like world beaters themselves, but again, it was against the Panthers, so I don't know there. And while yes, Joe and the Bengals start every single season slow, and they did last week with minus 18 yards in the fourth quarter, he is 7-2 ATS in his next start after Cleveland. So I like that. I'm going to go Cincy -3. It was 3.5. We don't have the hook, so -3 is big. I'm going Cincy here.
That helps. That whole thing about they do start slow every single year, I thought they were supposed to fix that when they played the regulars in the preseason, but that didn't help, right? So I expected a lot more from Joe, who did remind us recently that he's playing that position better than anybody else right now, except he's not. Your guy Josh Allen is. But Burrow is still a killer. And I figured that he and Jamar and T would light the Browns up, and the complete opposite happened. The Browns made Burrow look like, well, us. All of them, in fact. That was one of his worst games ever. You might be shaking me off. They did not look good, but I expect them to bounce back, especially against the Jags. I would expect a diet of Chase and T early and often. You know what? I love it. I love there's no hook there. I will take the Bengals and lay the 3.
Nice.
We're not disagreeing today, Head. All right, hopefully we have ourselves, we actually have ourselves a Super Bowl rematch, Eagles and Chiefs. Hopefully, we are not looking at another hospital job. Then again, we were led to believe how angry the Chiefs were following that beatdown, only to see them go all the way to Brazil and lose to the Bolts. All right? So I'm not exactly sure what we're getting right here. What kind of a number is BetOnline giving us? And then how are you going to play it?
It's dropped. Philly was favored by 1. It's now a pick 'em here. So, as we know in the Super Bowl, the Eagles dominated the trenches. Good news for them. Loogie Carter, he will be available. He did not get suspended. Bad news.
Yes, he Eagles. Yes, he did. He got suspended for that one game. The league said so.
Way to go, Adam Raj. That's really fair.
So lame, man. So lame.
Dude. But, dude, the Eagles lost a lot of pass rushers in the offseason, and without Loogie against a questionable Cowboys offensive line, they didn't sack Dak one time. So I don't like that. Also, Kansas City has my guy, Josh Simmons, how he fell. I'm still pissed about it. He's protecting Kerm, which will be enormous considering his weapons are banged up. KC needs to get the Pacheco guy, the football a little bit more.
Dude,
only 7 yards.
That's an easy one. Pacheco.
It's not really, though. There's no K there, but Pacheco. They're saying there's a Pacheco. Isaiah Pacheco.
I literally think that you had that once a couple of years ago, and then all of a sudden
I did.
What happened? How'd you lose it?
I don't know. Yeah.
It's you. It's you.
He had 7 yards, though. The point is here in the Super Bowl, and he only had 5 carries last week. Pacheco.
Hey, there you go.
There we go. Nailed that one. On the other side of the ball, Spags D, they're going to be motivated, I think, not because of the Super Bowl, but because of what you said last week. 318 yards through the air to Justin Herbert. I think they show up. ATS, had this stayed at -1 for the Eagles, it would have marked only the second time the Frogs in his career, he would have been a home underdog. That's not in play right now, but he is 14-2 following a regular season loss. So let's go Chiefs.
Yeah, it's so interesting because when I saw it, I saw the number you talked about. So my whole mindset was Philly -1. So on the one hand, I can't fathom the Chiefs starting 0-2, especially with a game at Arrowhead. Normally, I would never bet that would happen. Normally, I would never, ever bet against the Chiefs as a dog at home facing 0-2. But then again, and the whole thing, they have Andy Reid, they've got Patrick Mahomes, they have Spags. They went 15-2 last year. Yeah, they went 15-2 last year when they won every single one-score game that they played. To think that could happen again, to me, is just nonsense. That's just not happening again. And then I'm thinking about this. Screw it. I'll take Philly -1, and I hit them at Philly -1. I hit them early. I did. So I don't want to say I'm stuck, but I'm stuck. I got to own that. I hit them Philly -1. So not only are we on the wrong side of it, but I've got to lay a point. Philly -1. That's where I'm at. All right, dude.
All right.
Rams, Titans. The Rams are still the Rams. The Titans are still the Titans, except they're worse. The Titans are at home, but they're not good. So what's our BetOnline number, and how are you going to play that game?
The Rams are favored by 5.5 points here. Few things do worry me about Los Angeles. They are on the road and in the early time slot after a game against a tough Houston defense that is not good. But Sean McVay, I think he'll have his guys right and stay focused on a Titans defense that looked pretty good against Denver. I think the Rams give Sir Matthew Stafford time in the pocket. Tennessee's pass rush is not elite, and I think he picks on Jarvis Brownlee Jr. just enough. I mean, Bo Nix did, so I think Stafford could probably do that. Other keys to the game, the Titans could not get their ground game going against Denver. The Rams allowed the Texans to run for 114 yards. LA needs to do what Denver did, neutralize it and let Cam Ward sling it around. ATS, couple interesting numbers here. Tennessee covered last week after going 2-15 last season.
Wow.
That was the worst ATS coverage rate for a season in the modern era. They haven't covered a home game in 8 straight games. Now, no Will Levis. That sucks. But let's say they go back their losing ways. Rams minus 5.5 here.
Dude, so you're getting really cute this year. You're kind of going back and forth. Like, where's he going? Where's he going? I thought for sure by the end of that you were going to go, I'm taking the points. Look, I love Cam Ward, but he's not ready for that Rams defense, which I know is going to jack with him. As for his counterpart, what can you say about Matthew Stafford other than not dead, can't quit? Not dead, can't quit. This old man is tough as hell. He can still sling it. And while I do think the Titans, to your point, are going to bring some pressure, I trust him enough to take care of the ball, which he doesn't always do when he faces pressure. But I think he'll do enough. He'll get us the hell out of there. He'll get us paid. There is value if you want the Titans, but I don't think they've earned our trust yet. I don't want them. Not yet. I'll lay the points. I'll go with you. Rams minus 5.5. All right, Head, one more game. We've got Denver at Indy. Now, I'm a much bigger Bo Nix guy than you are, but you look better than I did in that regard in week 1. No one I know is a Daniel Jones guy, so we don't need to worry about that necessarily, except Miami made him look like Andrew Luck. I mean, so this, to me, I can't wait to see what the number is here. What is our bet online number? And, dude, what are you doing with this game?
So Denver's favored by 2 on the road. I think there is some potentially.
Do you find that interesting? That's a really interesting number.
Very, very interesting. Yeah, I do. But I think there's some potentially huge storylines here, Jim, that could come from this about those two guys that you just said. Like if Bo Nix goes back-to-back Poulter here, again, like he did against the Titans in all preseason, the Mile High City is going to lose its mind because they already think they have their next franchise quarterback. And if Daniel Jones goes off again, dude, that's some big, big news against this Denver defense. But something tells me Dimes probably won't do that against this secondary. I think the Pat Surtain secondary might be a little bit better than Storm Ducks. Great name, by the way. Love that. Storm Duck.
Storm Duck is a great NFL name, man. I love it so much. Not only is he already in my top 10, that might be a top 5 NFL name.
Dude, it's such a great...
Storm Duck is an incredible name.
It is a great name.
I love
like Richard
sports
Fitz.
Names.
Richard Fitz is a great one, too. He's my favorite pitcher.
Come on.
Okay.
Man. Stop with that, man.
Anyways, Denver's defense against the Titans, they had 6 sacks in week 1, but Indy's D, they held Tua to a 2.7 QBR. That's a scale that's graded from 1 to 100, and you got a 2.7. I'm
sorry to laugh. I mean, that's the first time I've laughed out loud at a guy.
Right? It's funny.
It was funny.
2.7
out of 100.
That line is terrible, but yeah, not good at all. Terrible. I'm going to go Indy and take the 2 points.
Oh, you are not.
I
am not. You are not, dude. You live in Colorado. You are not.
I know. They hate me already. But, dude, everybody here is anointing this guy the franchise savior, and I'm like, oh, man. He couldn't even light up Buffalo's defense in the playoffs.
I know, dude. You've said it from day one. You've never been as Adam Rain calls them, Bo-lever. You've never been a Bo-lever. No, I am a Bo-lever, but Bo frustrated me last week. Look, I don't think, for one, that Danny Turnovers is having some sort of career renaissance and he's the next Geno Smith or the next Sam Darnold. You know what he is? He's the first Daniel Turnovers, and he got his against the worst team in the league in Miami. Knicks now absolutely has to play better. He has to. If they're going to be the Super Bowl contender that Sean Payton seems to think that they are. But they do already have a Super Bowl caliber defense. We know that. I don't know anything about the Lombardi, but I do know they'll get into Indy. They'll handle the Colts. They'll get me paid and not you. So I've got no problem laying the 2. I'm going to lay the 2. Denver -2. Head, do it for me. Really, actually, we don't have time. We don't have time to run it back. But we got it all in, dude.
We got it all in.
Go ahead and post that. Great job. And Head, I know that you hate breaking format. Way to show up on a Wednesday. Good stuff, man. Appreciate you.
All good. Heading to Vegas. Getting in my car soon. See you there.
I'll see you there, Head. I'll see you there. We'll see who gets there first, you or me.